Well, good morning. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. I'm back from the grocery store, and in just a minute, I'll turn the camera around, show you my little grocery haul. Found a few good things to save money. Two, I'll show you what I found at Goodwill. Didn't find a lot, but I liked what I found. And three, at the end, I'm going to talk about an article that I read about the 5 things seniors purchase at retirement that they most regret. So stick around. I spent $54.92 at the grocery store today. About $2 of that was tax, and I think I did okay. I got this celery for $1.49. These hamburger buns were on sale for $1.79. The sour cream was on sale for $2. And all of this meat was $3.49 a package. I think it's normally like $5.49, kind of high. So I got ham, turkey, and roast beef. Stuff is not real healthy. Good. Those zero net carb tortillas were $3.49. Parmesan cheese was my splurge. It was $5.99. And I needed to get some deodorant. It was $2.29. Everything else is clearance. So anything in a red net bag is 99 cents. We got some yellow squash, some cucumbers, 3 pomegranates, some zucchini, some avocados, 3 green peppers, a bag of oranges, a bag of lemons, a couple of limes, a couple of oranges, another bag of limes. All the bags, 99 cents each. Then I got this cheddar and horseradish cheese. It was marked down to $2.84. I think this stuff is normally around $6. Anyway, I thought that might make a good roast beef and cheddar cheese sandwich. I'm going to try it anyway. Look at this, a butter sculpture for 62 cents. I had to pick that up. Then this cheese was free. Dylan loves to give me free cheese. A couple of containers of my yogurt I love, the Noosa. I have kind of quit buying it unless it's on sale. Then $1 for this naan. It was marked down to $1.75, but it had a 75-cent off coupon. These beef patties were $4.46. This is probably my best deal. I got this body wash. They're huge. They were normally $7.99, and they were marked down to $2, but one rang up for $1 because I had a $1 off coupon. So that's what I got. Now tonight, I know we're gonna have hamburgers and french fries. I've got some french fries in the freezer I need to use. And then I know I'm also gonna make some roast beef sandwiches and probably maybe a ham and cheese sandwich. I have to have quick, easy meals this week. I'm also going to make tacos, and we might have spaghetti because I got a lot of hamburger at the store last week. Oh, one last thing I got, all these mailers, they were marked down to 35 cents. So I went ahead and got all those. So that's what I got for my $54, almost $55, and that should get us through the rest of this week. I only spent about $20 at Goodwill this week. I'm trying to slow my roll and spend less. So each time I picked up something and thought about buying it, I thought, do you really need it? Well, yes, I really did need a blow dryer because the blow dryer I have right now, if I would turn it off, it won't come back on again for about 15 minutes until it cools down. So I knew there was something wrong with it. And it's not near as strong as this one. I love this one. I paid $5.99 for this. Now, it would normally have come with some other attachments, which I would never have used, so I don't care that they're missing. Then the second thing was this. I can't resist everything. So I did buy this metallic metal fresh homemade lemonade sign. It was $6.99, and I plan on putting it up outside near the pool. Now, this next thing, you may feel like, did you really need that? I felt like I really did. Really, really needed this inflatable T-Rex costume. Now, I paid $7.19 for this. And the thing is, I actually used to own an inflatable T-Rex costume, and my grandkids had so much fun with it. And we actually wore it out. And some friends of mine have a party once a year that they call Dinacon, and it's dinosaur themed. So I think someone will be wearing this to the party next year. So yes, I felt like I needed the inflatable T-Rex costume, and these things are actually pretty expensive. That's the old dinosaur costume. It was well loved and we wore it out. Well, friends, now I want to talk a little bit about this video I saw about the 5 things that most seniors regret buying after retirement, because I'm almost there. I'm almost to retirement. Now, the number one thing that they said they regretted buying was a boat. Now, I think we spend most of our working life, because we work so hard, that we kind of fantasize about what retirement will be like. We'll finally have time, and we'll finally have a little money, and we're going to spend it doing the things that we want to do. And maybe it was owning a boat. The problem is, when you're doing all that fantasizing when you're working, you're fantasizing in your younger self. And then when you reach retirement, you're 65. You don't have the energy that you used to have. And so oftentimes people buy something like a boat and they find out it's a money drain, or it's just the simple upkeep of the boat that becomes a burden in retirement. And so, can you rent instead of buying? The number 2 regret was RVs. Now, I think tons of people my age have that fantasy of they're going to finally retire, they're going to buy an RV, and they're going to travel all over the United States for months at a time and visit every national park. And if you've never owned an RV or a travel trailer, you should probably rent one before you buy one. Now, John Wayne and I, we've owned some form of a travel trailer since we were in our early 40s. We bought our first pop-up tent camper when our kids were little. And then we graduated to a small travel trailer. Now we have a little bit larger travel trailer. So we're used to them. But if you have never owned an RV and you're going to start when you're 65, those things take a ton of upkeep. And while you're traveling in them, you're going to have to do things you've never had to do before, like empty your own poop. So think about that. You might want to rent one before you buy one. One of our best vacations was on our 25th wedding anniversary. We flew to Alaska and we rented an RV and we traveled the loop around Alaska, kind of the circle road, I think they call it. And it was one of the best vacations we'd ever had. And we were in that RV for about a month. And that would be a really great experience for someone to try before buying an RV or something similar, to make sure you really like it before you commit your money. Because usually the resale value is nothing near what you paid for it. So before you buy an RV, you might want to rent one and take it out on the road and see if you even like it. John Wayne and I, we love it. Tons of people our age love it. But I know a lot of women my age who hate it. And so before you make that commitment, check it out. Number 3 was a little bit surprising to me. It was building your dream home. So what they found was people, when they neared retirement age, they were finally building their dream home, but they were building the home they had wanted in their 30s and 40s. And it wasn't what they needed in their 50s and beyond. So they're building these big giant houses with all these bedrooms and bathrooms that took a lot of cleaning, with a big yard that took a lot of mowing. And as people aged, they wished they had not built that house. They wished they had built a house without steps, for one thing, and bathrooms with grab bars. and no maintenance siding and tiny yards. Because that's really what you want when you retire. Now, when John Wayne and I bought the house we're in now, I think I was around 54, and we were really thinking about where we could age in place. So we knew we wanted no steps, and you have to start thinking about that. Your dream home can't be the house that you wanted when you were young. Your dreams have to change, and your dream has to be to stay out of the nursing home, right? So you need a house that's all on one level, yard that you can maintain. Now, we live on 5 acres, and my son is always telling me, well, Mom, you and Dad can probably handle that place for another 10 years, but I don't know. And I'm always like, son, we're not going to make it 10 years. Actually, I hope we do, but you never know. You have got to plan to be able to age in place when you build that dream home. Now, one of my saddest experiences is, John Wayne's an electrical contractor. And so there was a man that we knew, a customer, who was building a dream home for his wife. And they built the most elaborate over-the-top dream house I think I've ever seen. I mean, it had things like a hidden safe room, and just crazy things only rich people have. And it took forever for them to build it, and the entire time she was dying of cancer. And she got to live in that house maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 months before she died. And so build earlier, and build something that makes you happy, but that you'll be able to sustain. And also remember, you're going to be living on a fixed income, so you want lower utility bills, right? You want not to have to pay a ton of money for yard work. So keep all of that in mind as you near retirement and you think about where you're going to live. The number 4 regret that a lot of retirees had after retirement financially was bailing or helping out family members. Now, I know that when John Wayne and I were younger, that from time to time, my grandparents or parents had to give us a little loan or help us a little bit, but it was never very much. And I can never remember a time that any of my kids have ever come to me and asked for financial assistance. My grandson did. He asked for help buying his first cell phone, and we set up a payment plan, and he works it off through work here on the farm. So it's not a gift, it's a loan, and he's paying it off. And the problem with helping family too much or too frequently is, number one, it'll drain you really fast of your finances. It can also cause financial dependence. If that family member knows they can always run to grandma or mom or aunt or cousin or whoever, they're never going to quit coming to that source. If you find a well full of water, you keep going back to that same well. If you come to a well that's empty, you don't go back to that well. So it's okay to help out family members from time to time, but you have to be really careful. You've got to think of yourself and how you're going to survive when you're old. You cannot allow family members to drain you. Now, if you're really well off and you want to help a kid through college or you want to help them buy their first house, great. But if it's someone coming to you over and over and over for money, at some point, you have to close down that bank or you will run out of money because banks only have so much money. Now, number 5 was not a surprise to me at all. It was timeshares. Now, in my personal opinion, timeshares are a barely disguised scam. It's not just the upfront cost of buying the timeshare. There's all kinds of continuing costs after you buy it, all kinds of maintenance fees and booking fees. I don't know what, they just charge a ton of fees. And those fees do not remain stable. The fees continue to go up over time. And so even after you've bought the timeshare, you're locked into those maintenance and other fees, and you're also locked into where you can go on vacation. So you can only go where they have a place you can stay. And oftentimes the places that are most popular are almost impossible to ever get into. Now, if you've decided that you're going to buy a timeshare no matter what, buy it on the secondary market. There's a million of them for sale because everyone regrets buying them. You can buy them for pennies on the dollars. You'll be stuck with the maintenance fees. They are practically giving away timeshares online. People want out of them so bad, they will give them away just to get out from under those ongoing maintenance fees. So really, really do your research before buying a timeshare. I just have to come out and say it. Just don't do it. Look into the state's attorney general's consumer protection division, wherever the timeshare is located. Look at the Better Business Bureau. Look at the online reviews. If that's not enough to convince you not to buy it, I don't know what to tell you. Be very leery of ever buying a timeshare. But travel all you want. You will be able to stay in really nice hotels, Airbnbs, VRBOs, much less expensively than you can in a timeshare. Well, guys, there's not a whole lot to report from here out at the farm. It's super cold. It's in the teens. The wind chill is like 7. Both John Wayne and I got really sick this week. We suspect food poisoning, but we're not for sure. We were down for about 3 days, though. It was not fun. And I just really hope that you guys can stay healthy this week. Another thing I want to mention is that I'm going to post my final vacation video to Florida. Feel free to watch it if you want. Don't feel like you have to. I make that more for me than for you. We did have a good time, but I told John Wayne, this is the last time I'm going to Florida in January or February. It's winter there too. It's hit and miss on the temperature. If I go somewhere in January or February, I want it to be warm. Now, in February, we're going on that cruise with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And it's going to be warm on that cruise because we're going to some islands and we're going out in the ocean way further south than Florida. I'll be sure and show a little bit of footage from that trip for anyone who's interested. My travel videos never seem to do as well as my food and saving money videos, though. Anyway, have a healthy week. Save some money. Share your tips with me. And if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button or at least give me a like. I'm an old lady. How many old ladies have YouTube channels? Give me a break. Help me out. As older people, we all need to help each other. So give me your tips and I'll talk to you next week.